Welcome to Libraries Today. This program is intended to recognize and highlight the unexpected ways local libraries serve their communities today. I'm your host, Stan Howe. This episode of Libraries Today will feature discussions on ways to motivate library patrons of all ages to keep reading and learning through the relaxing summer months. I've invited two very special guests today to help with co-hosting this month's show, Corey Crowder and Michaela Torian. Both are broadcasting students at Capitol High School in Charleston. Corey and Michaela, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you. Hello.
We have two other special guests today, Susie McKinley and Denise Davenport. Both are experts in education and youth programming. Corey had the opportunity to interview Susie about the summer reading program in our public libraries. Let's watch that interview now.
I'm here with Susie McKinley. Susie works for the West Virginia Library Commission as Youth Services Consultant. She organizes and heads up the summer reading program for West Virginia public libraries. Welcome, Susie.
Thank you.
So tell us about the summer reading program and its background.
Well, summer reading programs have been part of public libraries for many years. The West Virginia Library Commission summer reading programs have gone back into the 70s. I've been working with them since 2000. In 2007, we joined the Collaborative Summer Library Program, which is a national summer library program which has research-based programs, activities, books, all kinds of great things.
And what's the theme this year, and how is that determined?
Well, the theme this year is On Your Mark, Get Set, Read, which is like a health and fitness and sports program. The theme was determined by the collaborative. I'm a voting member. It's of all of the states plus some of the territories. We get together once a year. We decide what themes we want to do, what kind of artwork, all kinds of important and interesting things so that it's fun for the kids, but it makes sense educationally.
What's the age range for the program?
Oh, well, our age range starts from babies. We have an early learning program where adults can come with their little children and have summer reading programs. We even have all the way through from kids to teens to adult summer reading now. That's we started that a few years ago. It's been very popular.
Which libraries participate in the program?
Almost every library in West Virginia is part of the collaborative summer program, our theme this year. Libraries don't have to use it. If they have a special theme they want to use, they use that. But almost every library in the state has a summer program of some kind.
Now, how much will it cost for someone to participate?
Oh, in a public library, programs are free. That's the important thing in a public library, that they can come and have fun and have some education and some good stuff, but they don't have to pay anything because the libraries are here for the people. They belong to the people.
All libraries are different with what they do in summer reading programs. Can you please give me an example of what libraries have done in the past?
Well, as you know, in West Virginia, we have libraries from the teeny tiniest up to the big libraries. And so, like you're right, every library is different. Some of them have, like this year, a lot of them will have people from sports clubs come in and demonstrate, like archery and things like that. They'll have a speaker come in and talk about particular sport or a book about sports. The Olympics is coming up, so there's going to be a lot of information about the Olympics. They'll even have programs on ancient Greece. They have sort of fun field days where they read a book and then they do an activity from the book. There are just all kinds of different things. Some of them bring in storytellers or do their own storytelling. Every library has something special for their community.
And how can members of the community get involved?
Well, they can come in and give programs is one thing. Like I said, some of the sports clubs will come in and do that. A lot of libraries have volunteers that come in just for summer reading to help with have the kids talk about the books they've read or read aloud to them. Sometimes the communities, like businesses, will donate a little something for the summer reading or all kinds of just different little things. It doesn't have to be big because it just wants, the library wants to involve the community. in a lot of different ways, with the children, with the adults. There's a lot of great things going on in West Virginia Public Libraries.
Great. Thank you, Susie, for sharing some details with us.
My pleasure.
For more information about summer reading activities in your community, contact your local library. Stay tuned for more information about summer reading when we return after this brief message.
Can you say with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now.
No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more.
So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child.
So let's join hands, book people unite.
Unearth hidden passion.
Come on, we'll have a good time.
Planting seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic.
Change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall.
And make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first little thing that helps to change a life.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
This summer is gonna be great. Get out, get active, and get your imagination going. Enjoy all the fun, adventures, and excitement you can think of. Read. Discover stories that you'll love, that will inspire you to create the stories, live the stories, and be the stories. The library has it all. Where you want to go and what you want to know. So make a plan to get the most out of your vacation. Join us at your library this summer. On your mark, get set, read.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education.
Right up here.
So every year, I take promising high schoolers on a college tour
And lights there, darks there.
to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Find out how you can live United for Education. Give, advocate, volunteer. Go to liveunited.org.
Do you wear this?
Welcome back to Libraries Today. I'm with our guest co-hosts, Corey Crowder and Michaela Torian. Corey, thanks for that interview with Susie. Excellent job. Michaela, you interviewed Denise Arthur Davenport, a reading specialist with Kanawha County Schools, about why summer reading is so important. Let's take a look.
As we approach the end of the school year and thoughts of fun and relaxation begins, let's talk about the ways to keep children engaged in the reading over the summer months. Let me introduce our next guest, Denise Arthur Davenport. She is a Titles I Reading Curriculum Specialist with Kanawha County Schools. Denise is here to talk to us about why summer reading is so crucial in a student's educational journey. Welcome, Denise.
Thank you.
So, can you give us some background information about yourself?
Sure. I have been teaching in two of our counties, in Boone and Kanawha County, for about the last 37 years, and spent some years in a classroom teaching the sixth graders, and then on to being a reading interventionist in Kanawha County Schools, and have recently become a reading specialist that works with the whole county. And I have always been an advocate of reading. I had received my master's degree so I could be a reading teacher, and throughout it all, it reminds me that reading is important, the most important skill for all the other ones, as well as we have to keep reading all the time, just not within the confines of a school year.
Yes. How can you tell which students continue to read over the summer?
It's usually obvious whenever you listen to them read. That's probably the first sign. If when the children come back in the fall, they're usually assessed to see who has maybe gained some ground and lost some ground, and we listen to them read to see if they can read fluently. That means at a speed that would be appropriate. and with the proper expression. And then we check to see, of course, if they understand what they read, because that's the main focus. And children that do not read over the summer, a lot of the research has shown they could lose up to 2 months of any gain that they made the previous school year. And what that translates into, if you look at just the elementary years, if you lose 2 months through 6 years, that's basically a year. And then by the time they leave the elementary school, they could be a year behind their peers. And yes, there is a difference.
Can you give us some ways to keep children wanting to read over the summer months?
Sure. First of all, if I could make an analogy to athletics, when children have a basketball in their hand, they can practice basketball. The same way with reading. If they have a book in their hand, they can practice reading. If they don't have that basketball or if they don't have that book, there can be no practice. And so for children, we need to give them a book. And a lot of times, children don't have the resources. Their parents may not be able to buy them books. Of course, we can go to the public library, which we have a great library system in Kanawha County, as well as a great summer reading program to encourage them to read. So we've got to get books in the kids' hands. And a lot of the studies have shown that the difference between having a book in your hand and not having a book in your hand has a lot to do with the resources. Children that come from lower incomes that maybe don't have the resources to buy the books, don't have the books. So we need to make sure that we are getting books to children that need them. And one of the organizations called Read Aloud West Virginia that I'm also a part of is very involved in making sure that children who don't have books can have books.
Thank you, Denise. We'll be back after this short message.
Welcome to Understood.org, a free online resource for parents of kids with learning and attention issues, with personalized recommendations, tools, and daily access to experts to help your child thrive. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
I wish I was in school. If only I had a math test today. I'll stay after class. I'll clean the chalkboard. I wish I was in school.
School ends, but free lunches for your kids don't have to. Find your local food bank at feedingamerica.org/summer meals for help.
Every child is curious.
George, look what I found.
Turn their curiosity into a lifelong love of learning. Create a curious reader.
This is super bedtime reading.
Share a book together today. Visit read.gov.
Hi, I'm Laura Morano from Austin and Alley.
And I'm Caroline Kennedy. When you read something you really love, you want to tell your friends about it.
Libraries are a great place to share the books and poems that mean something to you.
And that's not all you can do at the library. You can get help with your homework, use a computer, see friends, learn new skills, and find out what's going on in the world.
Libraries give us a place to come together, so make a point to stop by the one near you.
Communities matter at your library.
Welcome back to Libraries Today. As we end today's discussion about the summer reading program in our public libraries, let me remind parents of how important it is to keep students reading over the summer break. Children who don't continue to read over the summer experience some type of learning loss. Research shows that children that don't keep reading over the summer months begin to slip in their school year success. Books are great for long trips, but how about downloading an ebook or audiobook instead? Reading apps make it easy to take along digital or recorded books with you wherever you go. To learn more about e-reads and audiobooks, contact your local library for more information. I want to thank our special guest co-hosts, Corey Crowder and Michaela Torian, for being here with us today and helping out with the show. I'm going to let Michaela close out this segment. Michaela, take it away.
Now to our last interview of the show. Stan was recently on a location at the Summersville Public Library. Stan, tell us what you learned about the library's new Curiosity Collection.
Thanks, Corey. Thanks, Michaela. Serving nearly 9,000 residents in Nicholas County, the Summersville Public Library offers numerous programs and collections to its patrons, such as Gardening 101, Lego Club, and yoga classes. The newest addition to the library is the Curiosity Collection. Let's visit the library and see what it's all about. With us now is Library Director Sarah Palfrey. Sarah, thanks for being on the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
Well, first, tell me about the Curiosity Collection.
The Curiosity Collection started this past fall. Our local community foundation had a new grant program offering this year called the Community Catalyst Fund. They went out and sold tickets to an event, so the whole community bought into it and funded the grants. And then they selected 6 organizations to compete for 3 $5,000 grants. So we had to do a pitch. We had 3 minutes to convince the room to vote for our project. And my thought was, this is a go big or go home kind of a moment, something that we wouldn't be able to do otherwise, that would really meet a community need that there wasn't any other funding for. So we did our 3-minute pitch, and we actually not only got funded, but we won the event for the most votes as well. So it was a pretty exciting night. And then we started to build the collection. The collection itself is made up of different tools, games, equipment, generally in the STEM world, science, technology, engineering, math. There's some craft things as well, like some different weaving looms, but we tried to really hit the technology things that as a rural community we don't have easy access to. You can't walk into Walmart and buy a telescope. So if you don't ever see it, you may not know that you want it. So we wanted to get some of these things in front of people and to hopefully ignite a little interest in some of these STEM fields.
And patrons can check them out just like a book?
Absolutely. We tried to keep the collection focused on things that didn't really need any other technology. So there's very few things that you have to have a computer or internet access in order to make them work. But for those that do require that or require the use of a tablet, they can be used in the library too. But otherwise, an adult library card in good standing, you can take any one of the items home with you for 2 weeks, just like a book.
What kind of age group are you seeing checking out the collection?
It's been all over the place, which is great. We've got things for toddlers to use, magnetic building sets for toddlers and preschoolers. We've had some daycare teachers come in and borrow things for their classrooms, and preschool up through high school, working with some of the Little Bits doing prototyping. So.
What's been the most popular item so
Little
far?
Bits, by far. Little Bits are a circuitry building system that uses magnets. It's a really flexible building system, and there's a lot of things that you can learn and build, and you can just take it straight out of the instruction manual or get crazy and come up with your own ideas. Those are, I'm surprised that there's one here to show you today.
Well, it sounds great. Why don't we go take a look at them?
Sounds good.
Okay. So Sarah, this looks like a great collection of curious items. Why don't you tell us what we all have here?
Okay, well, we'll start out with our most popular here. The Little Bits by far have been the runaway hit.
And what are they?
They're individual circuit modules, and they're color coded, and so each does a different function. One color is input, another color is output. You connect them together, and you can create all different kinds of things. The bubble blower is one of the most popular of some kids to, where it becomes a motorized bubble blower, so you can run through your own little bubble fountain. You can create your own car. There's an app that goes with it so that you can then control it wirelessly. There's probably the next popular one, at least according to the middle school kids that we've talked to so far, is the Mischief Maker, where you can use the different modules to create something that knocks things over.
Sounds
but
like fun.
it's a great way to experiment with prototyping, learning the cause and effect of how things work, plus the basics of circuitry. And we have 4 different Little Bits kits, and they all come with different modules, so there's a lot of experimenting that can go on there. And we have some books in the collection that you can check out with it to give more background. And then Little Bits has a fantastic website for educators that includes a lot of lesson plans where you can really, you can have fun, but you can also make it a holistic learning experience as well.
What else do we have?
Similar along the same veins, we have squishy circuits, which requires you to make your own Play-Doh. You make an insulating dough and a conducting dough. Again, learning how the circuits work. We have some snap circuits too, but those are all checked out at the moment. This has been a surprise hit, the soldering kit. I had a mom tell me that she never in a million years would have bought her 12-year-old daughter a soldering kit, and it has been her favorite thing she's checked out so far. So we've got an electrical engineer in the making there, which is fantastic.
Well, let me just point out what I would really love.
The
would
elephant
be,
on the table.
Yeah, the elephant on the table
Yeah.
is this great looking telescope.
The telescope is, we are very excited about it. We are starting to partner with our local astronomy club too, that we're going to work on some programming to go along with the telescope over the next few months to really get conversations going locally between people who love to look at the stars and didn't know there were other people out there in our community that love to do it. So it's been a big conversation piece. Some people are a little nervous about taking it home with you, but if you strap it with your seatbelt in the car, it's perfectly secure and ready to go. It's quite stable actually, and this is a model that's used in a lot of libraries across the country. So we have some lower tech things too for our younger patrons. These are called alpha builds, and they're magnetic blocks that you can use to build letters. It's another way to work on print awareness as an early literacy skill. Or you can just build castles or whatever you like to build. We have these, and we have some magnetiles and some connects and other building materials as well. For fun, we have a iPhone photography studio. There's a selfie stick in there, a tripod, and some lenses, so you can do wide angle and fisheye and get a little artsy with your iPhone. But we also, again, because we're a rural area, there's sometimes basic services that are hard to come by, so we've added a projector. We get asked a lot if people can borrow our projector, and so now we have one that we can loan out for anything from presentations to doing movies outside. It's also been pretty popular and a big hit so far. For our inventors, we have the Super Wigglebot kits, and these can be made over again and again into all different kinds of things. Putting tools in kids' hands is really important. Learning how to use a screwdriver, learning how to put a battery in and take it out. But just being part of what they create is something that we really like to encourage here. We try to make our programs at the Somersville Public Library very participatory, and so now you get to take that home with you too, which is really exciting for us.
And what a great collection. One thing I'd have to ask you, other libraries may or may not have something like this. Would you recommend other libraries they don't have a curiosity collection, to try one out?
I would recommend figuring out what's going to work for your library. This is not a new idea. I didn't think of this all by myself. we looked at what a lot of other libraries were doing. There are seed libraries out there, and cake pans, and American Girl dolls, and huge telescope programs. And we looked to see what the need was in our community. And for us, we felt that that was more of the technology and STEM world, that's what we were lacking access to here. And so there's libraries all across the state that check out unique and unusual things. And, it's a growing facet of the library world, and one that I hope people will investigate and see if it'll work for their space and their community.
Sarah, we appreciate you giving us a guided tour of the Curiosity Collection, and look forward to seeing if other libraries adopt it as well.
Wonderful.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
The West Virginia Library Commission encourages lifelong learning, individual empowerment, civic engagement, and an enriched quality of life by enhancing library and information services for all West Virginians. For questions or comments regarding topics on this show, please do not hesitate to call us at 1-800-642-9021 or visit us online at www.librarycommission.wv.gov. To keep you updated on library happenings in the state and beyond, the West Virginia Library Commission uses the WVLC website, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube channel, and the Library Lookout newsletter. If you haven't liked us or followed us on social media yet, please do.
We'd like to thank Sarah Palfrey for sharing the Curiosity Collection with us here at the Summersville Public Library. I would also like to thank Susie McKinley and Denise Davenport for stopping by the studio to discuss summer reading. And a special shout out to our two very talented guest hosts, Corey Crowder and Michaela Torian. Both are studying broadcasting and journalism at Capitol High School in Charleston and plan to make it their career. West Virginia libraries provide a variety of educational resources and activities that encourage and engage students year-round. To inquire about summer reading programs in your community, contact your local library. I'm your host, Stan Howe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Libraries Today.